Master Kikoman had just returned from Brazil, where he competed in the Fists for the Forest charity jiu-jitsu match. All proceeds went towards Brazilian rainforest conservation efforts. He was celebrating his second-place finish with dinner at P.F. Chang's. While a very accomplished martial artist, Master Kikoman always felt something was missing in all the styles he had studied. He ordered his usual, mapo tofu, extra soy sauce. Seated at the adjacent table was young Tommy Belagamba. He was also there for a celebration, admission into the Sudsy Pooch Dog Grooming Academy. Neither of these two realized the significance of destiny bringing them together that night. Tommy, having never used chopsticks before, clumsily attempted to pick up a pot sticker. Instead of hoisting the tasty morsel to his mouth, the slimy dumpling slid out of the chopsticks and shot onto the floor. Simultaneously, a waiter was delivering an order of General Chang's chicken to table 14. He slipped on the pot sticker, which made the platter of chicken go airborne, striking Master Kikoman on the left temple. The impact created an altered state of consciousness. During this time of impaired reality, everything became clear to him. All the secrets of self-defense are hidden in the animal kingdom. His first vision was that of a red fox. An animal known for its ability to survive in many different environments. The words "he who can adapt, will always hold the right key," rang in the master's head. Next, he saw an African painted dog. These canids form large packs which make them one of the most successful hunters on the African plains. The thought, "strength comes not from you, but from those around you," permeated the master's soul. As quickly as that vision faded away, another flickered into view. It was a swift fox. This is the smallest of the American foxes. "When size is not on your side, use swiftness to turn the tide," could be heard on the blowing wind. The master's last vision that night was of a capybara. The only non-canid in his visions, perhaps brought on by the master's recent trip to Brazil. While there, he bore witness to the world-famous Porto de Mos capybara stampede. This wonder of the world is induced by the locals throwing guava rinds into the Xinyu River. The supersized guinea pigs come running from miles around to feast upon this banquet. Capybaras are the world's largest rodents, but even with their 3-inch incisors are still friends to all the animals of the forest. Don't mistake this congenial attitude with a lack of fighting spirit and courage, however. Every morning capybaras take a relaxing bath in nearby watering holes, which are full of anacondas, piranha and black caiman, a 15-foot crocodilian. "What have you done before breakfast?" Master Kikoman regained his senses to the sound of clanking silverware. What seemed like hours in his altered state, was actually mere seconds. The waiter was picking himself up off the floor and collecting the dishes and utensils that were strewn about. The offending pot sticker was located and scooped into a bag where it could do no more harm. The manager came by to apologize to the master for the mishap, and offered him a free order of banana spring rolls as a gesture of goodwill. A profound sense of joy washed over the master. This was not due to the spring rolls, but rather the realization that his quest to perfect his martial arts skills now had direction. He would travel the world and meet the animals in his vision. By studying their movements and behavior, Master Kikoman believed he could create a new fighting style. Because the inspiration for this style occurred while dining on Chinese food, it would be called Moo Goo Gui Pan. Master Kikoman started his travels with a trip to the Fort Worth Zoo, to visit the swift foxes. They are indigenous to Texas, so it seemed like a good place to see them. The little guys certainly did not disappoint. The alacrity present in all their movements astonished the master. He could readily see how incorporating this into his fighting style would be formidable. After his day at the zoo, the master had a few hours to kill before his fight out, and happened upon a club called the Dizzy Llama. Banners were hanging from the ceiling advertising a line dance demonstration by North Central Texas Division A dance champs, the Strutting Roosters. Master Kikoman had never seen this type of dance before, but was interested in all manners of cultural expression. Soon the jukebox came on and Baby Likes to Rock It started to bellow from the loudspeakers. The dancers appeared and started to move in perfectly synchronized motions. The master was instantly mesmerized. Sometime between the hoedown throwdown and the watermelon crawl he realized how special these movements were and that they needed to be included in his new fighting style. The way the dancers were able to glide across the floor was reminiscent of something he had seen earlier in the day at the zoo. At one point, an overzealous zoo patron tried to prompt some activity in the sleeping swift foxes. He started making a noise that sounded like a cat coughing up a hairball. The alarmed foxes immediately arose and boot-scoot boogied into their den. The movements of Texas line dancing would be incorporated into Moo Goo Gui Pan. It was no accident Master Kikoman found himself at the Dizzy Llama that evening. 2 months later, Master Kikoman traveled to Mongolia to attend a martial arts seminar entitled the Genghis Khan. The instructors taught the art of deception as used in a Mongolian grappling art called bok. At the conclusion of the seminar, the master learned he was just a day's travel from the Institute of Cytology and Genetics, home to us BI foxes. A visit would give him a chance to study one of the animals from his vision, the red fox. The trip to Novosibirsk, the location of the institute, would take about 13 hours. The master started his journey at 3:30 a.m. He drove from Alangom, Mongolia to Kizil, a city in the Republic of Tuva. Tuva is known worldwide for the melodic tones present in their turvan throat singing. The sounds produced by these singers can best be described by having one imagine humming Baby Got Back while simultaneously gargling battery acid. Unfortunately, Master Kikoman had no time to experience this, as he had to catch his flight to Novosibirsk. The master arrived in Novosibirsk late in the evening. His flight was delayed due to a herd of Siberian musk deer that had wandered onto the runway. These deer are unique in that they have very large, tusk-like fangs. It took the airport staff quite some time to muster up the courage to confront these interlopers. Eventually, a particularly heroic baggage handler, armed only with a broom and a Samsonite Winfield 2 hard side suitcase with spinner wheels, made his way onto the runway to dispatch the deer. Tired from the long day traveling, the master checked into his hotel and got some much-needed shut-eye. Rising at first light, Master Kikoman made his way to a location on the outskirts of the city where us foxes were kept. The staff told him he would be meeting a very special group of foxes that had been selected to go to America. These were the Novosibirsk 9. The master was led into a large chain-link enclosure with old tarps hanging on the periphery. A door opened and a small white animal with a black stripe down her back and numerous black freckles ran toward the master. He immediately had an unexplainable desire to feed eucalyptus leaves to this magnificent creature. The staff informed him that she would not appreciate that. This, of course, was Panda. 7 other foxes then came running out the door: Sasha, Lika, Sergei, Lena, Yuri, Dmitri, and Vasily. I hung back, wanting to be fashionably late, and make a grand entrance. When enough time had passed, I strutted out the door. The master immediately noticed my gorgeous black and red hair and my graceful yet powerful movements. While the others were running around the enclosure arguing over who got to eat the best bugs, the master and I were focused on each other, somehow sensing the significance of this moment. After a while, Master Kikoman got up and started to experiment with some martial art moves inspired by the motions of us red foxes, as well as the movements of the strutting roosters during their rendition of the Cotton Eye Joe. Out of the corner of his eye, the master saw I was matching his motions move for move, including the triple back step. The master was in utter disbelief. Over his many years as a martial arts instructor, he never had anyone pick up moves so quickly, while also adding their own individuality to them. Over the next week, the master and I practiced Moo Goo Gui Pan every morning. When the time came for Master Kikoman to leave, he thanked me for the time we spent together, gave me a scratch behind the ears, and promised to continue my training once I reached America. Then, as quickly as he came into my life, he was gone. The master continues to travel the world, visiting the animals from his vision, and teaching Moo Goo Gui Pan along the way. We touch bases from time to time, exchanging ideas and keeping each other informed about our activities. The confidence I have gained from my martial arts training helps me with my daily mission to fight for canids. I know I can handle myself in any situation, and if anyone gets in my way, they'll learn what it's like to tango with the sheriff.
Very nice, Mr. Fernsby. One last line.
I don't know, do you really think I should?
Mr. Vlad wants you to say it.
Oh. All right. Hemoclin. Num num for the bum bum.